This right here is the book that I used to use to create all my matches from all the video games. I used to create the matches. I used to create the cover. This is for Monday Night Raw. This is my roster, as you see. You know, this is what it used to look like for me. This is how I used to have a lot of fun. We had ECW. Yep, see? This is all the people in ECW that I had. And on the back, it was SmackDown. But, see, I used to have real matches. I used to record my matches. See? While everybody else was trying to figure out how, or shall I say, why everybody else was plugging their games into their television, I was trying to figure out how to plug my game into the VCR so I can record them, which I figured that out. And for years, I've created my matches. I control them. What's this match is? Let me see. What's this? Orlando Jordan. I remember him. And JYD versus Mankind and Edge with Lita. That's what that says, with Lita. I'm looking at Stevie Richards. Wow, versus Sabu. Sabu lost to Stevie Richards. Wow. You know, I had real fun. So I really liked it, creating, and all of my matches, they always had an outcome. Always written down the outcome. That way I can carry the match on and I would know what the storyline would be rather than ending the match and not writing down what happened inside of it, because if I didn't write it down, then I would not know, you know, what the storyline was. But for every match, I made sure that, look at Kurt Angle, Ahmed Johnson versus Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle won, and there was an outcome. Something with, you know, DDP, I guess. But yeah, just to show you guys, I've created thousands and thousands of matches. You know, this was WWE Raw, SmackDown, and ECW.com when the .coms came out. So I used to write .coms and, you know, have my wrestlers talk about whatever happened in the match before they get to the next, I guess the next episode. So, and see, I used to always write out the beginning, hello everybody, you know, we're live, back to Raw, something like that. Oh, welcome back to Raw. In my head, when I'm writing the top as Raw come on, in my head, what I hear is Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross. Mostly Jim Ross. Hello everybody, it's Monday Night Raw. So in my head, that's what I heard. Okay. A lot of matches. Chris Masters versus Goldberg. You know, a lot of dream matches that I had. A lot of matches I created. You know, the Boogeyman. You know, the Boogeyman, Mark Henry and Umaga versus Blade Runner Sting, Lex Luger, USA, the World Heavyweight Champion, The Rock. Wow. You see, that was a 6-man tag. And for these 6 matches, this was the main event. You know, so just saying, I did a lot of writing. I had a lot of fun. SmackDown, Velocity. See, I did Velocity as well. See, so I'm letting you guys know through my years and why I post the way I post and why my videos look the way they look. Well, I've been doing this before a lot of you wrestling fans was even born, you know. So just want people to know Stonekeezy is real as it can get. You know, a lot of things I did I mean, a lot of things that I did, I see people doing now. But I did this years ago. You know, layering, compositing, all of that stuff. I didn't know what it was called. I just knew what I wanted. I just knew what I was trying to do. Didn't have a name for it. I just knew that, hey, I'm gonna cut up these magazines and match these guys up. And I want to put them on my videotapes, so my videotapes would look nice and pretty and not look like every other videotape that you would see. So when someone do see my videotapes, they would be like, oh man, this is freaking off the chain. See, raw.com, last week on Raw. See, Play Runner Sting and Lex Luger. See? So this is what I used to do. So if you want to know where Stonekeezy gets all of his imagination from, well, it's built over time. I'll be 59 September the 2nd. I'm over a half a century old. You know, so I'm still a kid when it comes to this. And there's nothing else can come close to this, to me. This is my whole entire DNA, I guess, from the time my mother used to take me to the wrestling matches, is what I remember. So, 1972 is what I can remember, as far back as I can remember at 5. I can't remember beyond that. I just know that I have a deep, and it's deeper. You can hear it in my voice. It's just a very deep feeling when it comes to professional wrestling and watching people like Bobo Brazier, King Kong Bundy, people like that, Hillbilly Jim back in the days. You know, I think that was WrestleMania 3. I was watching Hillbilly Jim and the midgets, the little people, and they was going against King Kong Bundy. He got little people. So I go way back with, you know, I remember my mom and them talking about the Big Cat Ernie Ladd. A lot of these guys, you know, Junkyard Dog. So I'm going through this because, as I'm talking, because I want people to really understand how deep this is. You know, I did all of this with video games for years. I would set up, I would have matches set up, and then I would play them on the weekend, like a pay-per-view was on Sunday, so my pay-per-views was on Sunday. So this is a lot of stuff for you guys to see. You know, where a lot of WWE Raw roster only. That's freaking 2008, bro. Look at that. That's 2008. That's my Raw roster only. That's 2008. And, you know, I would have drafts. I would have real drafts. And when I played my video games and my team, my roster, if I was Raw, SmackDown, whatever roster I had, if I had people on Raw, you would never see them come to SmackDown. I would never wrestle my Raw people in the SmackDown ring. That's how I kept them separate. I would only wrestle Raw people in Raw ring, SmackDown people in SmackDown ring. And when I did do crossovers, even ECW, same thing. But when I did crossovers, I made sure they were really, 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 really super, super great crossovers. I didn't want them to be crappy crossovers. You're not gonna keep seeing superstars going back and forth like that because it drowns out the flavor. Okay, this is my Raw roster. Aiden English, Arn Anderson. This is everybody on my Raw. You know, Bam Bam Bigelow. Look at all this. It's from back in the days of 2017. You know, so this is my Raw roster. So just, yeah, my Raw. Yeah. And I used to be on Raw myself. I was on Raw, and there go my ECW. I did all of this by hand, and I remember my wife, she helped me get these printed out so they'll be nice and have color to it. This was my SmackDown roster. Okay. I was SmackDown, and matter of fact, I was WWE champion on SmackDown, right? And I didn't just say, hey, I'm gonna give myself the title. No, I did everything right. I put myself through hell. I've lost matches when I wanted to win. Matches I set up, I lost. And I had to create another round to make sense to me for King, to be, the champion. Needed the King to be the champion. So I had to go through a lot to make Stonekeezy the champion. Okay, so just to let you know. And these are my, this is WWE Survivor Series. Look at this. Anybody that love wrestling, they would see this thing, this right here. Anybody that love wrestling, they would see this as really, really incredible and fascinating. If you're not a person that love wrestling, this means nothing to you. But if you love wrestling, even promoters, I was doing my own stuff. So imagine if I was a real life promoter, because I believe this is what WWE does. It's the same stuff they do. And I was doing it way back when, in 2006. Look at that. 2006, get an ink expert. You'll see it's 2006. I didn't just write this crap, this stuff. This is 2006 for real. I'm sorry for calling it crap, but it's a different phrase as far as where I was going. But you know what I mean. My work is never crap, but I didn't write this today. I wrote it years ago, 2006. See, look at this. Look at the paper. It's faded. Look at that. Paper is old. This is some old stuff, y'all. So these are look at this, match cards. So my match cards, think about my match cards. If this was Raw's tribute also to Chris Benoit. So this was even during the time that this Chris Benoit, just, all that stuff that just went down with Chris Benoit. Wow. So this was 20, as you see, what I see, it was 24 matches. I had 24 matches. See, and that was the main event. I had 24 matches at Survivor. Was it Survivor Series, I think? No. This was, like I said, matter of fact, this was a Chris Benoit tribute. And I believe this is before the world fired out what everybody else say. What everybody else said that happened. So yeah, this was a tribute to Chris Benoit. And it was 24 matches. Wow. I'm trying to get this paper out of here. And then after that, what was it? No Mercy. 2007. Look at that. No Mercy, 2007. So I'm just letting you guys know, I've been doing this for years. So if you see one of my videos and you see the way they are, that is the reason why they are. as the way they are, because I've been doing this stuff for years. You know, see? PlayStation 2, 2007. Wow. These are all my match cards for Survivor. Look at this. This one is even faded away. Look at the paper. Look at the paper on there. It's faded. It's, Jesus. 2007. WWE Unforgiven. Look at that. So, I just want you to know, people to know, I've been doing this for a very long time. Very long time. You know, ain't no faking in my game. And never was, never will. This is real stuff. Sorry I'm not keeping the camera right because I'm trying to wrap this up now. But this was a real talk with Stonekeezy and showing you guys how long I've been in the game. Been in the game, like I said, before a lot of people was born. So, much love to y'all. This is my wrestling book of all of my matches that you just saw. Much love to y'all. Deuce from Stonekeezy. Yeah. Holla.